Thank you all very much for joining. My name is Darren Light. I look after sales and marketing for the UK and EMEA region. Thank you for joining our webinar, Advocacy Through Visual Commerce, a breath of fresh air. And really that's exactly what it is. Visual commerce is kind of generally quite new in terms of helping our customers online to kind of get where they need to be and help them sort of convert in the using sort of the user-generated content. So welcome again. That's my introduction. We are joined also by my colleague Eliza Fisher, who is based in our LA office. So Eliza, very quickly, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for coming. I work in marketing here in our LA office. I'm in charge of email, webinars, and content, and it's great to have you here with us.
Great, thanks, Eliza. Eliza's being very modest here, by the way. She hasn't alluded to her expertise in this area, and if you go to sites like Quora and so on, she's very active in terms of answering lots of people's questions in e-commerce. So do kind of check that out at your leisure. But we'll get started in a second. Before we do kick off, just a few notes on logistics. Please do expect an email in your inbox tomorrow with a link to the recording of today's webinar. I know a few people haven't been able to make it, so that's no problem because you can still listen to it again at your leisure. If you do experience any technical problems, please do notify us through the window or the chat window. And of course, with regard to questions, please do again ask any questions you like during the webinar, so that they're fresh in your mind. Again, please do use the chat window for that, and we will take questions and answers at the end, so we can sort of cover everything that you ask. So look, today we'll tell you a bit about Social Annex, and then we'll talk about the customer experience that visual commerce should create, and of course how we can create it. And then, as I mentioned, we'll go to Q&A. So again, thank you for joining, and I will hand over to Eliza.
Thank you, Darren. So we're going to start with a little background about our company. I'm guessing that you're at least slightly familiar with Social Annex since you're watching this webinar, but for the uninitiated, we make omni-channel, customer loyalty, and advocate marketing solutions. Our mission, simply stated, is to turn browsers into buyers, buyers into loyal customers, and loyal customers into advocates, who then deliver more shoppers to you. We're headquartered in Los Angeles and have offices in the UK and India, and we're growing a lot. Just over the past few months, we've added about 30 people to our team, and our applications generate over 2 billion clicks a month. Our 6 suites of products are customer loyalty, login services, sharing and referrals, user-generated content, visual commerce, and contests. And these 6 suites of products provide solutions for every step of the customer journey, whether you're looking to increase site traffic, convert more shoppers, retain them, and so on. And overall, our solutions increase revenue by an average of 5 to 10%, boost purchase frequency by 5 to 20%, augment average order value for loyalty members by 5 to 20%, expand social activity 10 times over, and lift conversion rates by an average of 20%. So with that said, now I want to talk about pictures. So what sort of experiences do images create? Here we have the text definition of a plate, a flat dish, typically circular and made of china, from which food is eaten or served. Okay, understandable, but perhaps a bit boring. But here we have visuals. They make a huge difference, right? I'd argue that these colorful images of plates have an effect that's authentic, immediate, and rewarding. If product images at their best fit these three characteristics, I'd say that we should strive to make overall visual commerce experiences more authentic, immediate, and rewarding. So authenticity is a hugely overused buzzword, but it's apt. When I say an image creates an air of authenticity, I mean it conveys trust and social proof. The viewer feels that he or she is being treated with respect and honesty. When I talk about immediacy, I mean a few different things. The human brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than it does text. But if our perception of images is immediate, shouldn't our interaction with them be immediate too? Rewarding is the most straightforward term of the three. Depending on the colors and arrangement in an image, our brains feel calmed or pleased or engaged looking at it. If the image is on your website, this is probably true. I don't know about you, but I felt a sense of happiness looking at all those pretty bright colors in the photos of plates. It's rewarding to look at a nice image. We should make it rewarding to contribute a quality image too. So let's take a more in-depth look at authenticity. So celebrity endorsements have been a hallmark of marketing for a long time, but they've recently been usurped by the sponsored post. Even if a sponsored post is not labeled as such, it can be easy to spot. The influencers who create them aren't real customers most of the time. There's a gap between how they actually interact with your products and how they present your products to the world. And that's why when we're talking about authenticity in visual commerce, we need to talk about real customers. Customers who, like in this example, freely declare that a certain brand has supported them in some way, that their products or services have passed a test. So here we see an Instagram user comment, just in passing really, that her fry shoes have taken her everywhere. And these customers are what we call advocates. Advocates are essentially volunteer marketers. They're real customers who love your business and want to talk about it, refer their friends to it, write reviews for it, and yes, take and share photos of your product, services, or brand. So they connect on social, they refer friends, they join communities and forums, they answer product questions, and so on. And even without incentives, people around the world are taking and sharing pictures and videos of the brands they love. It's their points of view and experiences that make your products authentic through social proof. But visual commerce doesn't just provide authenticity in this way. When your products are actually being used by your customers, that's when they really come alive. This is as true for fashion as it is for food or notebooks and even ATVs and cars. I love how Subaru decided to use advocate marketing to create an emotional appeal with images of customers' dogs in their cars. It shows just how much context images from advocates can provide. And when we see these sorts of images on product pages, there's a huge difference, an extra dimension, really. One aggregate effect of visual commerce content is that you can give customers views of your products in a ton of different contexts. By providing multiple views far beyond catalog photos, you show shoppers their functionality and versatility. Clearly, this calming, cozy bedroom paints a much more appealing picture of these flameless candles than just the stock photo did on the page before. Another vital side of creating an authentic consumer experience through visual commerce is that of permissions. Authentic brands treat their customers with respect and only use their content with their consent. So some of you may remember this New York Times article from this past fall. It talks about the sticky situation that the shoe-wear company Crocs created for itself when it used a mother's photo of her child without her permission. Crocs was operating under implicit permissions, which are the idea that when an Instagram user uses a brand's hashtag, they're implicitly agreeing to the company's reuse of the photo. It's murky territory at best, and it gets even trickier when children are involved, as we'll see in a second. When companies assume implicit permissions, they're only allowed to reuse user-generated content in their visual commerce on their own websites. And if for whatever reason the original photo is taken off Instagram, it'll appear as just a broken Instagram image on the site. This means that teams have to be on the lookout for these broken links on a daily basis. In contrast, explicit permissions consist of outright asking a user if he or she agrees to the company reusing a photo. The request appears as a comment on the photo, asking for the user to comment with some iteration of #YesBrand. And when you request visual commerce content in this way, you're allowed to reuse the images in any variety of your marketing efforts, whether it's in emails or ads and so on. And 70% of the time, Instagram users consent to companies using their images when they are asked. This can all be done in one click in a visual commerce dashboard, which will also have the history of rights requests and permissions documented. One more piece to add about permissions is that they essentially have to be explicit when it comes to images of children. The EU's data privacy laws mandate this. The age cutoff for when you have to ask is generally 16, but it can be 13 in certain countries. The last component of authenticity that we're going to discuss today is personalization. Just like how your business uses advocates, real people, in order to get authentic photos, you should be treating your shoppers as real people too. Real people, of course, don't usually like being generically marketed to and want to be treated as individuals with their own preferences. I'm going to use a personal example for this one. I love ASOS. I think they're a very cool retailer whose products and prices fit my wants, and I buy clothing from them all the time. I've been purchasing things from them for at least about 6 or 7 years. Most of my ASOS purchases are printed dresses and heeled boots, and if you look at my order history and my saved items, you'll see mainly that. But when I look at ASOS's visual commerce gallery, nothing appears that suits my style. Now, they have a clever fix for this in that they have categories of different styles of clothing, shoes, and accessories. It's great that they have a method of breaking up the beautiful chaos that Instagram feeds can engender and making it more manageable. That said, though, given the amount of data that they have about my personal preferences, it'd be a more enjoyable experience for me, and I'd be more likely to buy something via visual commerce if the gallery on their homepage automatically reflected my preferences. Now, Topshop, meanwhile, lets users navigate by product category. This is a potentially more practical way to organize images, but it's probably not as inspiring. There's so many ways you can take the category approach to visual commerce in order to make the content more relevant. For virtually any product, you could do trending product galleries or group images by color, holiday, season. If you're in cosmetics, you can do makeup mood boards, and if you do cookware cookbooks, you can sort images by recipe type. Really, any way you can think of to merchandise and categorize your products, you can display them in visual commerce. But if we're going beyond the idea of tagged categories, we can think about applying website behavior to your displays. For certain shoppers, you might want to display sale items, and for others, you'll want to show off your high-margin wares. You can factor in search history, demographic data, and interaction with other UGC. If you connect visual commerce to social login, you can access even more data to further personalize and contextualize your images. You can show photos and videos from people's first and second connections on Facebook, or photos and videos from people like your customers. Geographic data can be very fruitful too. One more way to ensure relevance within any categorization of your images is to use a ranking algorithm. Social Annex's version is called SIRA, which is short for Smart Image Ranking Algorithm. It lets you weight different factors such as likes on social, number of followers of the poster, revenue generated, clicks, and so on, in order to optimize the display of your images. This way, whether or not you categorize your images, you'll see the best pictures float to the top. So moving on to the immediate aspect of visual commerce, pictures communicate immediately, as we noted earlier. If your visual commerce experience isn't essentially immediate, it's not optimized. So your team might be associating hundreds or thousands of pictures a day, and anything that makes that task more convenient is a huge relief. they should be able to do one-click association, associate the same photo to more than one product, assign it attributes, and so on, all from one place. On the other side of that, the ability to associate multiple products with one photo gives your customers faster access to the products they're interested in purchasing. I might have originally clicked on this image because of the pants in the photo or because of the spotlight hanging from the dog's collar. If I click on it and I see both products associated with, I have a faster way of getting to what I want. So when we're talking about immediacy, we can't avoid the topic of seamless omni-channel shopping. Whichever channel your customers are on, they should be able to immediately see your images and then buy through them. When your audience is on Instagram, you can monetize that channel through Shopic. For businesses, this is as simple as pasting a link in your Instagram bio. You just upload a photo to Instagram as you would normally, whether it's a catalog photo, branded photo shoot, customer picture, or anything else. Then you just have to log into your dashboard and associate your images, and that's it. They're up on a shoppable mobile gallery without any implementation on your end. And customers can then tap any photo in the gallery to see the details and get a link to the product page where they can then purchase it. This is seamless and fast for customers, requires minimal time commitment on your end, lets your social team take credit for what they deserve, and delivers shoppers to a trusted environment, your website. And for a limited time, the really big news about Shopic is that it's available for free. If you're interested in learning more, please email or call Darren, whose information is at the bottom of the screen. It's darren.light@socialannex.com. And you can even cultivate immediacy in store. UGC is an easy, evergreen source of content for digital displays. Nine West and Lululemon are just two businesses that have used it in this way. And you can even go one step further and use touchscreens so shoppers can immediately know what they're looking for and where they can find it, whether it's in store or online. And now we come to the rewarding component of visual commerce. We know that it's rewarding to view these high-quality photos of your advocates, but how can we reward them for contributing? Many advocates will share photos without any reward in mind, except perhaps for recognition or attention. But in order to really cultivate advocacy at scale, you should consider how you can thank them. So the simplest way is part of the nature of visual commerce itself. Thank your customers by showing them off. If your customers are logged in socially, you can personalize their site experience so that they see themselves among the customers featured on your homepage gallery. I'm not sure if you remember my picture from the beginning of the webinar, but here I am featured along with other shoppers, as well as my dog. If you have a loyalty program, it can be very simple to give customers points in exchange for contributing. You can even do this if advocates are submitting their images via hashtag on Instagram or Twitter. Olympus Camera is one company that does this, and they give their customers up to 100 points a month by submitting photos to their user gallery. And here's a look at just a bit of the amazing customer photos that they've received by incentivizing their fans to share. I believe at this point their gallery's been up for about 6 months, and they have at least about 30,000 photos. And even if you don't have a loyalty program, you can reward customers through contests. The skincare line, Frank Body, which has seen massive success on Instagram due to their marketing around their coffee skin scrub, has gotten great content by giving products away to select advocates who share photos. They've also done more elaborate contests, like this one, in which they encourage their audience to make artwork using their products, whether it's on the packaging or using the scrubs themselves. The winner of the contest got a considerable prize, and Frank got tons of unique, beautiful submissions to use for their own marketing efforts. Another contest that gathered some truly striking content was done by a clothing site called Bonadrag. They have an annual holiday wish list contest in which they simply ask their audience to post photos on Instagram of the Bonadrag items they would want with a hashtag. But these customers have gotten really creative, and some, instead of just reposting brand photos or making simple collages of stock images on a white background, have instead made these really memorable and noteworthy collages of their products. They're reflective of Bonadrag's branding and personality, and they're wonderful for using in other marketing efforts. In terms of soliciting contributions, you should send both dedicated and non-dedicated emails, use in-store displays, place banners on your site, and promote visual commerce in receipts and other printouts. Here's an example of our customer Delia's soliciting contributions with package inserts. It's a low-tech but extremely effective way of reminding customers to share their photos. Social Annex also has what we call a Smart Engagement Accelerator, or SEA, which is an algorithm that determines the optimal time to send solicitation emails. It tests based on time, historical and personal data, and product type. So in terms of the results we typically see for visual commerce, it's usually a conversion rate lift of 5 to 7% on average, and a click-through rate lift of 15 to 20%. One of our clients found that each photo adds $6 of revenue, and another one found that each one adds $10 of revenue. Another client has seen a 17% conversion rate among visual commerce users. Beyond any of the rewards directly given in exchange for the contributions of photos and videos, you should also consider how you can make your customer experience more rewarding and engaging in general, with the end game of cultivating advocacy. Many of these tactics are beyond the scope of a webinar only about visual commerce, but I'm listing some ideas here just to spark some more thought. So these include practicing customer centrism, using surprise and delight tactics, fostering a sense of community and collaboration, and as we noted earlier, creating a seamless experience on all channels. You should also consider educating and entertaining your audience, giving shoppers the VIP treatment, embracing transparency, supporting charitable causes, and personalizing every facet of the experience as much as possible.
Great. Thank you very much, Eliza. I hope that's been very useful and informative for everyone. With a lot of food for thought. We're very aware that we've gone through quite a lot of stuff today. Lots of information to take in, but yeah, certainly hope that's been a good use of your time. So we're going to move to questions now. We have had a few in, so which is good. But again, just quickly before we dive in, just to remind you, you can still submit some questions in the chat box, and we will answer them straight away. So look, as I mentioned, we've got three. And the first one is an analytics question, actually, which is good because I like those kind of questions. And it is this. If I implement the visual commerce solution on my website, what type of behind-the-scenes information will I have access to? Eliza.
So, generally, you'll always see a curation trail, as we discussed in the permissions component of the webinar. And you'll also see statistics about ROI, submission sources. I really like that one because in our dashboard, you can see whether the photos came from manual upload, Instagram, Twitter, etc. But you can also see whether people uploaded them mobily or on their desktop, and you can even split mobile into iPad, tablet, or mobile phone. And if your visual commerce solution is integrated with social login or loyalty, you'll be able to track engagement and submissions as they relate to that data from those products too. And that way you can get a really good understanding of who's contributing to your galleries.
Got it. Yep. No. Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Cool. Thank you. The second one is this. Well, it's actually two questions. I'll do the first one and the second one, Eliza, so you can probably answer them at the same time. What are all the sources I can get images from when using visual commerce? And if I get a lot of them, what's the best way to organize and keep track of them? So that's actually a really good couple of questions, actually.
Yeah. So in terms of automatically pulling images from hashtags, which is the way that most of our customers get the bulk of their photos, you can do this via Instagram and Twitter. Unfortunately, Facebook and Snapchat don't allow for this, but there are various types of manual upload too. Users can upload videos and photos from their desktops, phones, or any other storage device. And they can also upload a photo through Facebook. If they don't have it on their device at the time, they can just log into Facebook and select it from an album.
Mm. And then upload it from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
And, sorry, I forgot the second part of the question.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay. If I get a lot of images, what's the best way to organize and keep track of them?
Right. So as we discussed with the product association, organizing them, all of our clients, of course, associate the specific product ID to each image. And they can do that either by, if they know the product code exactly, they can type that in, or if they only know the name of the product, they can do it that way as well. And then you can also assign attributes like, if something is in the bedding category or the kitchen category, or you can do it by color, so you can keep track of them through all these categories.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Thank you. So I hope that answers the question. And finally, we don't have any more. So this is the last one, and it's this. Can you explain in more detail how the curation process works, please?
Yeah. So you can choose to either have your own team moderate and curate the photos and videos, or certain companies, Social Annex being one of them, will do this for you. So either way, once you decide on the criteria for images you like to share, you or our team will go through the stream of photos in the dashboard and pick the ones you want, and then just click to request rights.
Right, that's it. That's all I need to do.
Yep.
Right, no, good. Well, we like things simple. That's good. Okay. Wonderful. Look, again, thank you, Liza. I hope that's been a good sort of session for everyone. I don't think we have any more questions, so I think we can we can wrap it up here. So, Eliza, any sort of final thoughts or anything before we go?
That's it. Just thank you, everyone, for attending.
Great. Indeed, and thank you from me as well. As I mentioned, we will send this out as a recording to everyone that has participated or hasn't participated for various reasons, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one, probably in about a month's time. So thanks again for joining, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.